Hi, I'm John Claybaugh with Sound Real Estate Brokers in Olympia, Washington. And today we're going to talk about how to declutter your home when you're getting it ready to sell and why this is a really important step. So what makes a house a home? You could say a lot of different things. People might answer that question in different ways, but one thing I hear a lot of buyers say when they finally find the house that they're going to buy, they say, it just feels like home. And so when you're getting your house ready to sell, you need to create an environment that makes it easy for the buyer to get that feeling. It's on an emotional level and an intuitive level that the buyer will feel this. And that's why it's so important to declutter and depersonalize. When we declutter, we're freeing up space inside the home. And by freeing up that space, that gives us space for the buyer to be able to use their imagination to picture themselves living there. The buyer must be able to imagine what it would feel like to live in this house. They have to be able to envision their own stuff in the house. They'll talk about things or think about things like, yeah, we'll put this couch here and we'll put the TV over there. And they might measure the master bedroom to make sure their bedroom set is going to fit. But it goes a lot deeper than that. You have to create space in the house that will allow the buyer's imagination to flourish. You have to give them some room to run with their imagination. And too much of your own stuff is going to make it harder for the buyer to imagine living there because your stuff is going to be in the way. So we just talked about the why. Why do we want to declutter our home and depersonalize our home? Now let's talk about the how. How can we do this so that we create space for the buyer's imagination and emotions to get that feeling that this feels like home? The first thing you need to do is remove some pictures and mementos from the walls. This is really hard. I know it's hard to take that stuff down because this is your home, but once you put it on the market, you're actually sharing that space with other buyers and you're sharing it with their imaginations and their emotions. And if the walls are just filled with your pictures of you, your friends, your family, your pets, that sort of thing, those are all just going to be reminders to a potential buyer that this isn't their home. And that's the opposite of what we're going for. Now, I'm not saying that your walls have to be completely bare and don't have a single photograph up. No, it's okay to have a couple of things here and there. It's actually good to not have blank walls because that'll help kind of fill out the space, create the right illusion of space. You just don't want to go overboard with it. A couple of things on each wall or each room are okay, but beyond that, it starts to get a little bit cluttered. Along the same lines, you want to minimize trinkets and knickknacks and tchotchkes and various collections, all the stuff you've collected over the years. That's great stuff, but that's just going to be a reminder to the buyer that, hey, this isn't my house. This is the seller's house. It's good to cut that down because that'll also cut down on the clutter, help with the illusion of space. You want to be very careful with political or religious items. This is a sensitive topic for some people. Now, I'm not the type of person to tell you what to believe or what to think. And, I think most people are not. But there are a lot of people who will get triggered by seeing certain political or religious items on the walls. And that's going to be a huge turnoff for them. And they're going to say, this isn't my house, and the sale is, they're not going to buy the house after that. So I would be very judicious with that sort of material that you're going to put on display. You want to be careful with odor and scent control, especially if you have pets, because, if you've got pets in your house, I know I used to have pets in my house. After a while, you don't notice the smell, but visitors who come to your house are going to notice the smell. And so you want to be very careful with odor control. Make sure if you have pets, you might need to do some deodorizing of the carpets or have some sort of product, air freshener product. It's also a good idea to open the windows and get a lot of fresh air, especially before a showing. The last thing you want is someone to come into a house and have it be stale and stuffy and have a strong odor. And I'm not just talking about bad odors. It doesn't have to be a bad odor. Just an unfamiliar odor that is very strong is going to be a turnoff to a lot of buyers, and it's not going to feel like home to them. It's also a good idea to clean out your pantry, because almost every buyer is going to look in the pantry and see how much space is there and see if it's big enough to meet their daily food needs or weekly food needs. It's also a good idea to have fewer pieces of furniture, especially in the main living areas like a living room, family room, dining room, that sort of thing. Especially if you have if there's smaller rooms, take a couple of pieces of furniture out if you can, because you want it to feel open. You want it to be easy to walk from one side of the room to the other. You don't want somebody to have to walk around a chair or walk around a table to be able to get from the hallway to the kitchen or something like that. There's been a lot of times when we're consulting with sellers before they put their house on the market, and we'll recommend, hey, why don't you take this chair out or move this couch over here, just to kind of help things flow better, help create the illusion of space. And then once you've done all your decluttering, what do you do with all of the stuff? Well, you got some options there. If you have a garage and smaller items, what I recommend is get a bunch of plastic totes from Home Depot or Walmart, Costco, somewhere like that. Put your stuff in them, stack them up in the garage. It looks really neat. They're out of the way. All the stuff is hidden inside of the tote. Can't go wrong with that. If you've got too much stuff to fill up your garage, you can rent a storage unit, get a storage pod. You can also donate. Habitat for Humanity, Salvation Army. There's other places where you can donate things that you don't need. And, when all else fails, have a garage sale. Now, here's a bonus tip for you, because I know from personal experience that it can be really hard to get rid of stuff. We all go through life, we accumulate a whole bunch of stuff, and we all have things that we've been holding on to for years. We don't use them, but we just can't bring ourselves to get rid of them, right? So here are some questions you can ask yourself as you're going through this process. Try to flip around that feeling of uneasiness and, oh, I don't want to get rid of this thing, and ask yourself some questions. Why do I have this item still? When was the last time I used it? Does it bring me joy? Does holding this thing or knowing that I still have this thing bring me joy in any way? Is it meaningful in some way? Why? Do I really need to keep it? Those are all questions you can ask yourself as you're decluttering and depersonalizing your home to help you cut down on stuff and decide what you need to keep and what you need to get rid of. Now, if you're thinking about putting your home on the market for sale, get in touch with us. We offer a free consultation and analysis. There are no strings attached. We're not going to shove a contract in your face and try to get you to sign it. We're not going to bug you 6 times a day and ask you to list with us. It's not how we operate. We just provide our expert opinion and advice and let you decide how you want to proceed from there. So with our free consultation and analysis, we're going to help you evaluate your options. We're going to listen to your goals and needs and help you figure out what your options are. We'll help you set realistic expectations about, for example, how much your home is worth and how much money you'll get when you sell your home. We'll give you some advice on decluttering and depersonalizing and staging your home. We'll give you specific recommendations that'll help you maximize the bang for your buck. We'll also help you determine whether now is the right time for you, because it's not always the right time. And we'll make a plan of action for how you can get from where you are now to where you want to be in the future. So if that sounds good to you, totally free, no strings attached consultation and analysis, please get in touch with me. My name's John Claybaugh. I'm with Sound Real Estate Brokers. My contact information is on the screen. You can call or text me, email me, or go to our website, mysoundhomes.com. Thanks for watching. I look forward to hearing from you.